Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Oy. Oh, sorry. All the things right now, right? Happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing today? It is Self-Care Wednesday. Self-Care Wednesday! And I got the... Where is it? Sacred Self-Care Ritual deck. And I got the Stress Reduction Essentials deck. So, let's get rolling with the... what to do on Self-Care Wednesday. I know some of these are the same. Sometimes they come up the same. But I love this deck just because it comes up with great ideas. You never know who's going to be watching every week. And self-care really is and truly is so important. Good morning, baby sibling. Good morning, older sibling. And so happy hump day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. So anyways, it's not just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mental health as well. Even if you do not have a dinged up mental health, we still have to take care of our brain, right? We got to take care of all that stuff that's happening in there, going on in there, and making sure we stay balanced. So let's get rolling here. All right. Number 1, pleasure. You know what? I have to say, this may very well be, sorry guys, I had a piece of hair slip into my ear and it's just like side effect of straightening my hair. Whoa, we have pleasure. That's right. Just what the card says, kids. I will do my best to not giggle through this. So we've kind of touched base on this before, and I'm not sure. Oh, I like that. There's like a little infinity symbol in this one right here. So we've kind of touched base on this because there is another card in the deck that just says sex on it. Now this can be a part of self-care. Now hang in there, because there might be people who are giggling or just saying, oh my god, no. But you know what? There is nothing wrong with exploring your body. Okay, there is nothing wrong with just getting to know who you are. You know, a lot of times we stigmatize it. We put shame around it. We put all these different, feelings and stipulations on what we should and shouldn't feel. And I'm just going to say that this is not a bad thing. All right. And sometimes if you're just being totally bitchy and crazy, this might be the way to go to stop that. Because we're humans, we have needs, we have desires, we have wants. And, maybe if you have a partner, they're not available at the moment. If you don't, it's the way to go, right? I mean, you can sit there and just be like, oh, and just get angrier and angrier because you have all these feelings, you have all these emotions that are not being validated, that are not being properly expressed, and they're not, being taken care of. I've talked about this in the past. We've talked about this actually, I think about 2 weeks ago. The sex card came up and I went into the small details of, if you are single, and I speak from experience, current experience, but there's nothing wrong with it. And let me tell you, there was a time when I used to stigmatize myself. I was very ashamed for doing these things. It was kind of like, and then, right around the time I turned 40, I discovered toys. I know, right? But still, and couples use toys. So, if you're part of a couple, just say, yeah, well, I'm part of a couple. Couples use toys. I know people who do. Okay. And what I liked about the people that I know that do is they've always been very open about their sex life. I mean, it's not like, oh, sit down to dinner and, oh, let me tell you about this. No, they're just things that casually come up. And I feel that sometimes the conversation comes up because they're trying to teach us to not be ashamed of our bodies. We need, no matter what you feel like you look like, you're a beautiful human being. Thick or thin. Okay? Thick or thin, you're a beautiful human being. If you're struggling, then, when you have alone time, or if you do live alone, just, you might have a roommate or something, just close all the doors, find a mirror, and just allow yourself to look at yourself. Find a way to explore if you want. help destigmatize and remove all of these things that we've learned to be ashamed of our bodies, and just allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to just become one with who you are. You know, there's nothing wrong with pleasure. I mean, this card pretty much says it all. I mean, there is nothing that it's not saying. There's the giggle. But it's called the Sacred Self-Care Ritual Deck for a reason. And this card is in it. Which means that the person that made this card, Tatiana Vendinkina, realized and knew that this is a part of self-care. And they included it in there. And they included it in there because it's part of our body. It's part of our mental well-being. You know, maybe you've had trauma in your past, and so the last thing you want to do is to feel these things. That's where you have to change the narrative. If you're not ready for it, don't push yourself. That can lead to bad things. But I can tell you from my own perspective, sorry, my nose is running, that over time, as you begin to heal your pain, there's still this part of you that's stigmatized that says, oh God, you know what? I associate this particular feeling with this horrible thing. And you have to find a way to change the narrative. It is still very difficult for me to do that, but I'm learning, and I'm learning as I go. And while I'm doing it, I'm destigmatizing my body. And I am finding ways to love my body, you know, no matter what size I am. I'm finding a way to love myself. Because this is all of me. Even the walls that I have built, from my neck to my thighs. Those are walls I built to keep people away because I was afraid. And a lot of times it's exactly what we do. We build walls to keep people away. But when people really genuinely care about you, you're not going to keep them away. They're going to see right through all that, and they're going to see you. They're absolutely 100% going to see who you are. And that's what's important. That's what means something. But first and foremost, you have to learn to love yourself. Okay, so even if you're giggling while you're looking at this card, which I'm very surprised I am not, I actually had to hold back, but you know what, just really kind of look at it for a moment, okay? And if you're averting your eyes and saying, no, 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 then okay. If it's triggering you, then please do look away, because I will be going to the next card in a moment. But I just really want you to look at this card. Look how all the hearts lead right to the navel, right? That's your solar plexus area. It's okay to love your body. Okay, that's the biggest takeaway on this one. It's okay to love your body. If something bad, like I said, if something bad has happened to you in the past, do your best to try to move away from that and change the narrative and take your power back. It may not happen like that. You may need professional help to do that. But when you start to learn that you are in charge and nobody else is anymore, a whole world can open up to you. Okay? So, chanting. You can do this. There are so many different things. If you're already doing it, then you know. It can be part of meditation. It could be part of a ritual. It could be part of a lot of different things. If you're not sure how to start, you can find things on YouTube. There are chanting meditations everywhere. If you're not into chanting, okay, like doing the Om or other things, just even while you're meditating, maybe you can find something that's rhythmic to just say over and over. Or you could even find a phrase or an affirmation that you could chant to yourself while you're in that meditative state. But it does have, I believe that's the Om symbol up there. So they are kind of pointing to that. But during your meditation, it is very, you know, it has been known to help soothe, kind of levels out your chakras, all those good things. Your chakras are basically your energy spine. Okay, they're the energy circles that live along your spine. Drink tea. Not everybody likes tea. I love tea. I'm a big fan of tea. I do drink a lot of the more herbal ones, but every so often, if I don't feel like coffee, I will have black tea with milk, or English tea, whatever the hell it's called. But tea. So drink tea. And I think the reason they're talking about this is drinking tea can actually be a very meditative, soothing, calming thing as well. You know, you're just sitting there with your hot cup. You can smell whatever's wafting up. Currently, my favorite tea is apple cinnamon, but it's like drinking a pie. But that's actually not why I like it, to believe it or not. It just tastes good. You know, it's kind of like got that zippy because of the cinnamon's got that zip to it in the end. But it feels like fall to me, like autumn. And that's my favorite season. And it's just kind of like, it kind of brings you to a good place. So, you know, drinking tea may not be for everybody, but it's an interesting suggestion. Also, they have the kind of tea where if you have the see-through pot, which I do, and you put the tea bag in, it actually blooms into a flower that sits in the teapot. So that can also be something nice to look at. You know, you could sit outside. Meditating isn't always about crossing your legs and holding your fingers and chanting. Meditating can be anything that helps. It's mindfulness. It's about getting out of your head and just allowing peace and harmony to come in those moments when you're feeling like you were literally going to lose your shit. So, or even if just you want to practice it every day, to start a mindful routine, to start your day off in the way you would like to just imagine your day. It may not turn out exactly as you want it to, but if anything bad does happen, you will be better prepared for it because you've calmed your energy, you've soothed your energy, and you've allowed yourself to kind of go out in a state of balance. Okay. So tea. Let's see. Sound healing. There's a lot of those on YouTube. I have a favorite channel and I cannot for the life of me remember this person's name, but there's one where they do all the chakras. Now, I know that these might seem a little out of the box for some people, but if it is something that is out of the box for you and you're hearing about it for the first time, give it a gander. You know, just go to YouTube, you know, type in sound healing into the search engine. A bunch of them will come up. You know, click through the ones that, you know, click through until you find the one that really kind of resonates with you. Because I tell you, there's nothing, you will feel it. Okay. The first singing bowl I ever bought, I had heard it, you know, through YouTube videos, and I thought, I want one of those because it can also help clear the energy and kind of stabilize the energy in a home. The first time I hit that thing, I just felt my whole, not my ears, okay, because a lot of people are, of course you did, it was loud. No, I just felt like all this vibration coming up through the center of my body, and it was just like, whoa. Because I was skeptical about it. I wasn't sure that it would work. And then when I started to learn how to use it, it's like, oh, you know, and to be honest, I don't use it enough. I do not use it enough. When I feel my self becoming unbalanced, I should probably pull it out. And I'm actually reaching for one that I received in a box. This is not the original one I bought. The original one I bought is over there. But this is basically what they look like. I will not ring it just because this is alive and I am on a microphone. But this is kind of the idea of what you get. Okay, and you have to put it on the pad, otherwise you can't have the vibrations. But see, there's just that little, whew, I know. I mean, I didn't even let it go as loud as it could, and I can just feel it. And then you just go around the rim and you create that noise, you create that energy and that space. If you are a person who sages, but you're not always fond of that smell being in your house, or the incense smell being in your house, or maybe you're allergic or whatever it is, this can also help. Okay, you can just go through each room, do the thing, and it's supposed to help break up the energy. If you have any negative energy in there, it's supposed to help get rid of it. But that's the idea. And they actually have different tones. So, you know, be sure that there's usually a video with them. Be sure that you click, I have my crayons, that you click the video to make sure you're getting the tone that you want. So, yeah, I love, but sound baths. These actually look like the crystal ones. I would love a set of these. I mean, they're, I can't even tell you. I cannot even tell you. Trust me, listen to it for yourself. Put your headphones on, whatever you want to do. It will take you away like a bubble bath. All right. Ooh, a massage. I haven't had one of these in forever, but boy, they sure do take you away. Massages are amazing. Massages are incredible. You know, I will say this, if you have trust issues, the very first massage I ever got really kind of helped me along the path of learning how to trust, because you're literally trusting somebody you don't know, because it was my first massage. Some people will go back to the people they know just for familiarity purposes and to feel comfortable, but the very first time you probably don't know them, and you're allowing this person to get very, you know, hands-on-y with, you know, helping you just balance and relax and all that stuff. And you know, you can, I do know that not everybody's comfortable stripping. You can strip to your comfort zone, okay? They will work around you. They do suggest certain things, but they will work around you, all right? But it is very relaxing. It is very, it releases the tension. And when you really start to think about it, and when you finish and you walk out and you're feeling all kind of like, wow, I feel so limber and all that good stuff, you're realizing, wow, I just trusted somebody and it turned out okay. And remember, if you have comfort zones, you are the one that is paying for a service. So if you're not happy or you're uncomfortable, you can stop. All right? But just, you know, it for me, it was a challenge. And I came out better, not just because of the massage. I actually think I came out a little bit mentally better because it helped me with trusting. Okay, so it can be good mentally and physically. Now, if you don't have trust issues, just, you know, someone's telling you, go get a massage. It's time. Let's see. Health checkup. All right, you know, believe it or not, that's a self-care thing. You cannot do anything for anyone if you're dead, right? I often wonder, my mom, when I don't mean to go backwards on this one, but we're coming up, tomorrow will actually be the day that my mom was officially diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I'll be honest with you, the only reason I think I truly remember that day was, it was the day I realized my mother was going to die. And that because her cancer was advanced stage 4, which, hi guys, in pancreatic cancer terms, stage 3 can be terminal. I mean, the whole cancer is basically terminal. The life expectancy for anybody that is after, I mean, for most people, I should say, after stage 2. Sorry, Jessica just came on. See, someone was telling you to watch, girl. But pancreatic cancer does not have a long life expectancy. You know, I mean, if you catch it early, you can go into remission, and that's good, but very, very early. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I do not know where that came from. But where my mom was at, please. You know, even with treatment, she had 6 months to 2 years. Okay, that's kind of a long span there. 6 months to 2 years. She lasted 4. And the last 2 months were horrible. Absolutely horrible. She couldn't eat. She couldn't drink. Everything hurt. But my mom was good at going to the doctor. But my mom was not good, personally, in my opinion, at really advocating for herself. The January before just a few months earlier, she had been having tummy problems. And we were out for our birthday celebration. She's like, I'm really sorry. And I said, well, you know, did you talk to your doctor? Yeah. And her doctor, you know, he tested. But it doesn't run in our family. Pancreatic cancer did not run in our family that we know of. So they didn't think to go any farther. But it was still bothering her. And none of the things that he was giving her was working. So when you go for your health checkup, that is self-care to make sure you take care of yourself. But if something is persisting, keep going. If you find it to be a problem and you don't think the doctor's being responsive, change doctors. It may not always be easy, but find someone who will listen. Find someone who is paying attention. Okay? If you have to because you don't know what to do, go to the ER. Because a lot of times they'll do extensive workups on you and try to figure it out. And believe it or not, it was at the ER where, you know, my mom ended up in the ER because of a lot of pain. and they gave her some pain meds and said, oh, well, we think you have pancreatitis, blah, blah, blah. No big deal. The next week, or a couple days later, she was back. And this time, a doctor thought, something's really not right if you were just here last week. So they did the extensive workup on her and found out she had a huge mass inside of her. And, okay, I have to stop for a moment. I'm not going to name names. So unless you're reading the comments and you come onto Facebook Live, you will not know who I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell people right now, if you need to see a doctor, see a doctor. If you're in pain so badly that you're in tears, there's a reason you are watching this. Someone, whether you believe in the hereafter or not, someone's telling you you need to get checked, and it may not be bad. A lot of times we don't go because we're afraid. And a lot of times I think that's what happened with my mom. I think she was afraid. But you know what? You got to take care of yourselves. Now, here's the deal. I don't know how much longer we would have had my mom. I'm not going to lie when I say it was the saddest day of my entire life, losing her. The second saddest day of my entire life was the day I knew we were going to lose her. That actually may have been the worst one, to be honest with you. Hearing what she had and knowing she was going to die, I would actually say tomorrow would be the anniversary of the worst day of my entire life. Because by the time my mom passed away, it was a relief. Not for us, but because we saw how much pain she was in. She was in a coma for the last 4 days. You know, my mom was also very Catholic, so when we had the priest come in to do the blessing of the sick, which used to be called the last rites, he just touched her head and the biggest sigh came out. Almost like her soul was saying, okay, I can go now, because this is what I needed. And we knew that. We honored her wishes. I honored her wish. My dad did. And my dad's not religious by any stretch of the imagination. But we knew that's what she would want. And when she died, it was the most horrible feeling. But it was a relief for her. She wasn't in pain anymore. And she wasn't having to suffer. But I always wonder, if they would have caught it early, if she would have advocated for herself, would we have had a little more time with her? Would it have been a really horrible, tragic ending like it was? Or would it just been like, you know what? I tried, I'm done. And she did try. She tried, but nothing was working. And I'll be honest with you, one of the bravest people I know was my mother. Well, is, because I still feel like she's around. But she chose her path. She called me one day because, you know, she had decided it was the middle of the week, so I couldn't come down because I was at work. But she called me after work and she told me, I'm stopping my treatment. She's all, I am going to just prepare myself for my next big adventure. And when I used to think about that, it used to make me cry. And believe it or not, this is going to mean something to somebody else, but that was on August 20th. And, which holds a lot of meaning to me. But, those 2 days in a row now, just a lot of things. But I try to look at that day as being a special day for somebody else that I know, just one of my nephews. But, it broke my heart. But I also, when I hung up the phone, I thought, that is the most fucking brave person I've ever met in my life. They are literally choosing their death. And she simply said this, I can't live this way. I will not live this way. She's all, I'm not getting better. I'm only getting worse. And I want to make this decision now while I still can, while I'm still, you know, in the presence of mind enough to do so. And it was, I don't know. I mean, I'm not crying. So, I mean, that doesn't mean I won't the next time I talk about it. But in this moment, I'm seeing it for what it really was. And in a way, as dark as it turned out, that was her choosing her self-care. That's right, see? I always find a way to tie it in, right? But that was her way of choosing her self-care. she didn't catch it early enough. Her doctor didn't catch it early enough. And, you know, she didn't think to advocate for herself because she trusted them. And that doesn't mean doctors are bad. Okay, I'm not trying to put doctors down. But a lot of times when you don't have a history of something, people don't often think about it. You would hope they would. But you have to advocate for yourself. That is the biggest self-care move you can do for yourself, is advocating for your health. Finding things that will help you and move you through. You know, Sissy Joe had, went through 2 bouts of breast cancer. The second one, unfortunately, it, you know, did not turn out the way we would hope it would. But the next day, the day after she passed away, she was actually supposed to start a new trial. Because she was always, what got her through was her ability, her and her doctor's ability to find these trials, that clinical trials, and put her through them. And she always responded really well to them. I think her body was just tired. I think she was tired. That was a lot of fighting. That was 7 years of fighting. The first time around was about 1.5 years. But, you know, kudos to 2 of the strongest women I've ever known. You know, but yeah, so anyways, sorry. I kind of got lost in that one. Alone time. Alone time. Okay. Naked Mermaid. So, sorry. I haven't seen that card before, so I just kind of had to do a double take on that one. But alone time. This does not mean go out in the ocean and drown yourself. Please do not do that. Okay. And watch for the undercurrent. All right. I went to the beach a few weeks ago and I literally got pulled under by a rip current. The surfers were enjoying it. Not me so much. But I mean, it wasn't bad, but the water here, I don't care what anybody says, is cold. It is cold, especially when it's like 100 degrees outside. But it did feel good. It did feel good. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't see that coming. It was just like, whoosh. So, so be careful. All right. Be careful, because you don't know. The ocean is beautiful, but it can also be a very dangerous place. So mind who you are, mind who the ocean belongs to. Okay, don't blame animals with teeth in the water because you were literally walking into their home uninvited. But just ask, you know, just tell the universe and the water, thank you for letting me enter your home safely. But just be careful, all right? But yeah, alone time. Alone time is not a bad thing. I actually love this card because I love the water. But alone time can be good. It can be a meditative time, could be your pleasure mode time. It could be your sexy time, whatever you want to call it. Or it could just be time where you're just becoming mindful, or maybe you're journaling, or maybe you're just singing to yourself. Maybe you're writing or creating something, or whatever it is. Make sure that you take at least 5 minutes. You can even do it in the shower, right? I mean, when you're showering, that could be a ritual, just washing the day off of you, or washing whatever off of you before you start your day, whichever end of the day you take your shower in. So let's see. We'll do the last one. Journal. There it is. Journal. I know a lot of people aren't fans of journaling because it feels like homework, it feels like writing, but journaling can be a very, very good thing. It doesn't always sit well with people, but I have been studying up on spiritual causes of ailments. And by that I mean the metaphysical side of ailments. A lot of people don't like to really dive into that because, you know, none of us ever want to think we have anything wrong with us, right? I realized, because I've had a thyroid issue since my 20s, quite possibly before that, but it was discovered in my 20s. And mostly because my mom had me get tested because she's had it and then my grandmother had it. And it seems to me that with each generation, it gets better, because my grandmother, I believe, had hers removed. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I was led to believe. My mom had to have radiation treatment on hers, and I've just been on pills. So, I mean, I take that as a win. However, okay, so when it comes to journaling, I'm going to move sideways here. Okay, so, I mean, you kind of get the point on what I'm saying. Jessica just said, if you don't mind me sharing, because it is public in the comments, I used to journal until my mom read mine to everyone as a teen. Now I can't seem to get into the flow unless I'm journaling readings. I have another friend, believe it or not, this was just 3 or 4 days ago when I was talking about journaling. My friend on one of the talk apps that I'm on, one of the chat apps I'm on, told me I can't journal because when I used to, someone found it and read it. First and foremost, and here come the swear words, don't fucking look at people's stuff that does not belong to you. Okay? I get it. If you're a parent and you're worried, that's fine. What you think is cute and or whatever, so you read it to other people, it's not cute. These are your child's personal thoughts. If you're reading it because you're worried, I kind of get it. Okay, I can't tell you not to do it because I don't know what I would do in the situation of a parent. But what I'm telling you is you don't share it with everyone. Oh, look how adorable this is. No. That's how you traumatize kids. That's how you hurt them. I'll be honest with you, and I'm a little surprised at this, and it didn't dawn on me till now. But every journal my mother ever bought me had a lock and key on it. I know. And they were like little ones. They were just really cutesy, like Disney princess ones. But they had a lock and key on them. And I never locked it. I liked playing with the key in the lock, but I kept the key in the lock, believe it or not, or I kept it tied to it. So it wasn't a big deal. But I didn't share a lot of stuff. Just, oh, I have a crush on this person. Oh, well, I was very woe to me even as a young child. But and there you go. Stephen Baby Sibling says, I get tempted to read Landon's, but I don't because it's his place to get his feelings out. I know it can be hard, guys. I know it can be hard. But if you don't have a reason, if your child is doing well in school, if your child is adjusting and they're just, very balanced or seem balanced, as balanced as a kid can be, right? Especially with everyday pressures, there's no reason to read those things. If you're worried about them, and I don't mean obsessive worry, helicopter momming worry, or helicopter parenting worry. I mean, if you're worried because they're becoming reclusive, they're becoming just, non-responsive or maybe combative, it might be understandable because you might need to get deep into there. But that doesn't mean share it with everybody. Because now look what happens. X amount of years later, journaling can help so much, get so much shit out of us. And people are afraid to do it. That's 2 friends of mine now, 2 very, very dear, good friends of mine now, who can't journal because of fear. Because they're afraid. Because they're afraid if I put my words down, someone might see it. For me, I'm a very open book. Literally. Someone finds my journal, not a big deal. But believe it or not, the stuff I wrote when I was a kid, I don't let anybody see. I don't want anyone to see it. Because when I look back on it, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's always the same complaint. Everybody has a boyfriend. I'm alone. It's still the same complaint. Everybody has a boyfriend. I'm alone. But you know what? It's different now. Because I do share my story to help others heal theirs. And I am going to share this. If the only way you can start to journal for yourself is by giving yourself a reading or tapping into spirit, then do it again. If you have to find a box that you lock to keep it in, do it. Because now's the time to move past and to heal the past. Don't look back. As my mother would say, don't look back, you're not going that way. And as older sibling would say, the only time you should look back is to see how far you've come. Okay, so, and you don't have to tell anyone about it. I mean, if it's a notebook, here's the thing. I have actually found that, although I have 5 bazillion journals laying around, that some of my best work, and by best work, I mean my most healing shadow work, I've just used plain old, simple notebooks. Musings of the Domesticated Floof. Okay, I know, because Floof is what I call my inner child, but it's the Musings of the Domesticated Floof, Floof 3.0. The first one was Feral Floof. The second one was Healing Floof, and this one is the Musings of the Domesticated Floof. And You know what? Here's a quote on here. Maybe that's why I picked it up. The only person you need to understand is you. Another person's burden is not yours, but you can be there for them. Yours is the most important relationship you will ever have. And if others make it hard to love, go forward in knowing you shared your love. That is all you can ask of yourself. I know that may not fit what we're talking about with the whole journaling thing. People make mistakes, and other people's mistakes should not affect our forward progress. If you're afraid of journaling, challenge yourself to start doing it. Challenge yourself to start moving forward in that healing, finding that healing. In fact, that can be your first page. I haven't journaled in X amount of years because this person effing did this to me, and Christ, I cannot handle it, so I'm pissed, but I'm gonna journal it anyways. Jessica, I'm gonna send that to you in Messenger, okay? That quote later, when I'm done. But seriously, that can be your very first page of your journal. I haven't journaled because this person hurt me, because this person did this, and that to me. And other people may say, seriously, Shelley Marie, they read a journal to everyone. It's someone's private thoughts. There's someone's private things that they think only they're going to see. And that's what needs to be kept important. Baby sibling talked about it. It's so hard for her because she does worry about her kids. She's a single parent. She's a widow. And she needs to know that her kids, you know, even though they're doing great today, are always doing great. They're always doing well, or they're validating their feelings. But the fact that my nephew, who is not even 11 yet, is learning how to journal shows that he is being taught to validate his feelings. And a lot of times that's what journals are. They're us validating our feelings, getting them out, up and out. And what I was talking about before that, which is actually quite interesting, what I was talking about before that is when I started looking into the metaphysical reasons of ailments. Like, I have a thyroid problem, and believe it or not, the person that did this was a doctor, or is a doctor. But they're also, they're a medical doctor, but they're also a holistic doctor. In the sense that, you know, when she was treating her patients, she kept finding something very similar in their backgrounds, which is when she would get to know them. All these people that would come in and she would treat them for hyperthyroid or hypothyroid. She started noticing a pattern of self-negative talk. And as she started to heal them, yes, sometimes with medicine and sometimes through just getting them to process their feelings, they started to get better. And that's my thing, because I'm learning how to not negative self-talk anymore. But I feel like there's a cord I have to cut between me and my past because of the negative self-talk from some of the greatest women I ever knew who came before me. And sometimes it's what we have to do. We have to move past all of that. We have to move past the bad things that people did to us that hurt us to get back to our base. So journal away. You know, if you have to, hide it under your pillow, hide it somewhere you feel like you need to hide it. Or just tell people, stay the fuck out of there, or I will kick your ass. Because these are your thoughts. These are your personal thoughts. And the truth of the matter is, I'm so sorry, something's making my face itch. The people around you will probably not look. You know, they're your private thoughts. I have to tell you, I'd leave my notebook when I was staying at my dad's house, when I was taking care of him when he was sick, because he had COVID. I left my journal all over the place. I don't know if he read it or not, but I'm assuming he didn't. I don't think he cared. I mean, he cares about me, but I don't think he cared. It was just kind of like, oh, Shelley's writing again. You know? And so I think it's very important that we do that for people, that we give them that space. In fact, this is interesting. Our self-care essential, or our self-care reduction, stress reduction essentials deck. I'm never going to get that right. Supportive family. Families are an amazing support resource to have. Oh, to have them there. God, now I can't read. Families are an amazing support resource. To have them there for us when we are in need is such a gift. Your family, whether biological or chosen, is a community and a safe space. If you want to remain a safe space for somebody, don't go into their personal shit. Okay? I know it can be scary. I know a lot of times we become very paranoid, or our sixth senses don't rise, but we think it's rising, and we think our spidey instincts are trying to tell us something, and sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. But like I said, if you absolutely feel like you have to be in there to see what your person is up to, that doesn't give you the right to share it with everybody. If it's your child's personal thoughts, it doesn't give you the right to share it with everybody. Just because you think it's cute, it may be their pain, or it may be their musings, or it may be things they're thinking about. You know, so tread lightly, be kind, you know, be someone they can trust. Be someone they can trust. So, self-care practice. When you begin to feel overwhelmed, slow down and refocus on you. Push yourself to think about a beautiful, positive moment with your family or friends and smile. Recalling positive memories helps us to remember that everything really is okay, and it puts things in perspective. So if somebody has hurt you by doing something stupid, like sharing your journal, try to focus on all the other things. Okay, try to focus on all the other things so you can get that part out of your head, heal that. Like I said, that can be the very first page in your journal. I have not journaled since because this person broke my trust, but I'm going to give it a whirl now. And even if you have to channel spirit to help you push this through, it's a start. So, Jessica, somebody's saying you have to get back to it. Even if you just want to do it in a regular notebook, someone's saying you have to get back to it. It's going to help you let up and out a lot of things. And I'm telling you, I blew through some of these in like 3 weeks. You know, I mean, I used to see these movies where people would be in the movies coming out of their therapist's office with like a stack of notebooks this high, right? I didn't think that was a real thing, but it is. And I think the reason they use notebooks is, come on guys, you can go to the grocery store and buy one for like $1.99. I mean, one like this. I got this in a 3-pack for $5. But, you know, and initially I bought these for stories. And then I looked inside a box of office supplies I had that I bought after I lost my job to kind of just get myself rolling and feeling like I'm set up. And I thought, oh my God, I have notebooks. Let's do something with it. So there you go. But yeah, and you can pick your own color. You can do whatever you want. I mean, okay, look, I'm a horrible, horrible drawer, but it doesn't just have to be about, it doesn't just have to be, writings. I drew a violet flame. I know, I'm not a good drawer, okay? I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I drew my version of a violet flame. And the reason I drew that was because it's part of Archangel Michael's crown chakra thing. Yes, I said Archangel and crown chakras. Everything can go together if you want them to. But the violet flame is a healing flame. It's a flame of strength. And I put that in there to remind me someday when I go back through there that I can channel that. That we all can. When you need that strength. So if you have to imagine yourself sitting within the purple flame to journal, do it. Imagineering. All I can think of is Disney, because that's actually their word. Imagineering is visualization coupled with pre-practicing high-frequency emotions. Practicing high-frequency emotions is the best way to pre-pave happiness, and a more positive future. Okay, this one is new to me. Number 1, begin to slow your breathing. Close your eyes and let go of any tension you have in your body. Number 2, imagine you are resting on a beautiful beach. Okay, the words get even tinier. You feel safe, calm, and relaxed. The sound of gentle waves on... Okay, I'm sorry. This is where my age comes in. I've had terrible eyes since I was in 3rd grade, so bear with me. You feel safe, calm, and relaxed. Turquoise water and a bright, light blue sky. The sound of gentle waves as the tide rolls in and out. The weight of your body in your beach chair. The warmth of the white sand between your toes. A large sun umbrella shading your face, and a perfect breeze. I think I'm going to the beach today. Relax the muscles in your face and allow your breath to slow even more. Breathe in, taking in how calm this place feels. Number 4, couple this visualization with emotions. Feel yourself as you want to feel, relaxed and calm. And here we go with the small letters again. This imagineering exercise can also be done in written form, using as many descriptive emotions as possible. And here's the questions. How do I want to feel? What emotions are my future self emotions? I think this can be used even without having to pre-pave something. This is an excellent meditation. And in fact, another friend just wrote out a meditation, which I think I'm going to send this to her because it was talking about being at the beach. I know not everybody has access to a beach, or not everybody's near a beach, but you can imagine it. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. I mean, come on. They literally have videos of just ocean and the waves and the sound of the waves. And allow yourself to sink into that. If the ocean's not your thing, maybe a lake is, you can do that. You can imagine yourself sitting in the rain if that's your jam and you enjoy doing that. Just something that calms you. Being in the middle of the forest, in the quiet, and just sometimes hearing the wind blow through, right? The rustling of the leaves can be so calming and so beautiful. And, just allow that. One of the things I 100% love about Colorado, and I'm sure other places have this, but Colorado is one of the places where I can go outside and there's just trees everywhere. And I go there every September for my aunt's birthday with older sibling. And they have what they call aspen trees. And the aspen trees look, I'm telling you, they are, I always tell older sibling, and she kind of chuckles every time I say it, they are dressed in the sequin leaves of nature, okay? Because their leaves, when they blow, to me it reminds me of sequins on a dress. And so I told her, I said, they're the disco trees. But when their leaves blow, there's just this beautiful sound that comes from it. And you can feel the wind kind of blowing through you and around you. And just when those kind of things happen, take a moment. Don't be angry because the wind's messing up your hair. Don't be this, that, or the other because the wind is doing this, that, or the other. Take a moment to just allow it and imagine it taking away anything that might be bothering you at the time. It's just whisking around you and going whoosh, and taking it all away. I know a lot of this today has probably seemed a little bit woo-woo for some people, but you know what? I truly believe that everything goes hand in hand. Western medicine can meet Eastern medicine and work together. I mean, look at Valerie Harper. She mixed them both, and she lived a lot longer than they said she would, with her brain cancer. But when I looked up the spiritual meaning of what I was talking about, that doesn't mean stop whatever regimen you're on. What it means is that a lot of times we can figure this out. And if your progress is, if you're progressing in a good way, then eventually you may end up off of the meds. But that doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean stop trying to find what's wrong with you. That doesn't always mean it's going to work. Our bodies work in mysterious ways, and sometimes we just have to, if we're not willing to dive deep, we may never find out what or if we can heal ourselves. But for me, I know the place that I'm at now. And I know that I don't want a thyroid problem anymore. And baby sibling told me a long time ago that it was connected to my past. It was connected to my my maternal side. And I don't know if my great grandmother had thyroid problems, but I know my grandmother did. I know my mom did, and I know now I do. But to be honest, for as strong as they were, I truly feel that out of the three of them, I have had the loudest voice. I have had the strongest voice. They were two very strong women, yes. But whatever needed to be healed in their lives, I can't tell you if they did or not. I can't tell you if my mom made peace with everything that's happened to her in her life when she was dying, because I don't know everything that's happened to her in her life. I know who I knew, but sometimes we have things behind our eyes, behind, in our past that just kind of goes in 20 different directions that we don't know about. You know, maybe there's things in life that she wanted to do and never did. And those could be regrets. And sometimes regrets can also add to our ailments. So when I bring these things up, it doesn't mean that I'm saying don't do this. You do what you need to do. I mean, well, when I have medical, I'm on antidepressants. And I would not tell anyone not to be on them. If they help you, stay on them. Don't let other people shame you into not doing that. But I'm actually getting better. And I realize now that they're not something I currently need. But that's me. Everybody's an individual. So again, don't let people shame you out of doing what you need to do. But if you feel like there's more, if you feel like you're pushed to discover more, to find out, you know, possibly what the other side of this ailment could be from, then don't be afraid to explore as well. Stay on your regimen that you're on. Do what you need to do. And if you need to, find a way to put it into remission. Remission just isn't about cancer, guys. Remission is putting something into, you know, a place where it does not affect your health any longer. But it has the potential to still strike back if not taken care of and if not looked at. Or just because, you know, sometimes we just go through life, we stop doing our health checkups. We stop checking in on these things. We stop checking in with ourselves. We stop checking in with our self-care. Remember, if you don't take time for self-care, you're going to have to, if you don't take time for your wellness, you're going to have to make time for your illness. Okay? And that usually just goes with like, oh, you're not taking care of yourself, you got a cold. So you're out for work for a few days. But it can extend, depending on each individual, to something bigger. So just take care of yourselves, all right? I know this was a bit of a different Self-Care Wednesday, went in a lot of different directions. For me, thank you for listening. Part of it was very therapeutic for myself. And I think a lot of it was eye-opening for myself. I was talking to baby sibling last night. She was asking me how I was feeling about the research I had done. And I realized that even when we look at the strongest people in our lives, we can take away from the fact that, you know, sometimes, in my case in particular, I can't speak for everybody, but in my case in particular, I am a stronger, better person because of my grandmother, because of my mother, because of my father. My father's still alive, but, you know, because of my parents. They taught me to be strong. They taught me to love myself, believe in myself. And like I was saying yesterday, now that I've whooshed away all of these horrible memories and kind of respect them for what they are and keep them in my past, I don't lock them up. They roam free. And I let them roam free because sometimes when you cage something, it tends to rebel. And I don't want to cage these bad things anymore because I don't want it to rebel on me and bring me down. So I have to show it respect. It shows me respect and leaves me alone. But I'm starting to remember all the good things that my parents told me, all the wonderful things of who I can be, who I am, who I should see in the mirror. And I think about those things and they make me stronger. But I also remember certain things that I recall seeing, or things that were spoken without maybe them even realizing it. And I know I got to heal that for them. It is my job and my decision to heal their ancestral pain. Whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to know that I can heal it by allowing myself to be everything they both knew I could be. To be everything my father knows I can be. So just take note of that. No, you're not living my life. But what can you do for yourself that will push you forward? That will push you in the direction that you want to go without being afraid? Without looking back at the people who didn't get to do the things they wanted to do because maybe fear did hold them back. Or maybe pain held them back. We don't know why some people don't do the things they do, but what we do know is that they didn't do it. you can break the cycle. You can move forward in ways that you never thought you could. And that's what you need to do for yourself, to cut those ancestral cords, to set them free. Because I noticed when I stopped locking up my pain and repressing my pain and all the things that have hurt me throughout my life, and, starting from the way back days of my life, when I set it free, it doesn't bother me as much anymore. It doesn't hurt me as much anymore. It's not sitting there banging on the walls or trying to break windows to get out, because I gave it the respect it needed. Do I respect what happened to me? No, not in your life. But there were emotions tied to that I had to give respect to. I honor my story. Do I want to go through it? No. God, no, I would never go back through that again. But I will say this, although a lot of people would disagree and say, yeah, it's made me who I am today, but I fucking hate that it happened to me. It has made me who I am today. But I'm choosing to say that it is actually me that made me who I am today, because I chose to heal. I chose to move forward. I choose to move past that pain. And it took me a long time. I talk about it being the last 8 years. The last 8 years is where the healing really, really started beginning. But I planted that seed over and over again for decades before. For decades before. It just finally took root. And I want to thank everybody that's been on this journey with me along the way, because I said it again, that I'm healed. And now there are a few more things that I have to do to make sure that I can keep moving forward and keep honoring my ancestors, keep honoring the memory of my mother, the memory of my grandmother, to honor my father while he's still alive. I mean, the guy just got back from Vegas. Seriously, he has more of a life than I do. But love and cherish the people around you guys. If you are a parent, do not read your children's things. If you have a reason to worry, fine. But if you do not read it, because as we've seen earlier in this conversation, it can cause long-term damage. All right. I have 2 friends who have the same problem. Both don't even know each other. And I'm looking forward to talking to the other friend today and saying, hey, guess what? You're not alone. I just found out one of my other friends has the same issue. And maybe this will help them start to journal again. So take care of yourselves. Good morning, baby bear. Don't worry about it. There's a replay. There's a replay button. I will see everybody back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Facebook Live under Shelly Marie Lucas. Shelly Marie is one word, little m, or my mom will come and haunt you. I can't guarantee she won't. Spell my name right. It is live, California time, guys. So if you don't know, look up LA. What's the time in LA? 8:30 a.m. What time is it wherever you are in the world? So 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Tomorrow is Things to Think on Thursday. We may just do an affirmators deck. I don't know. Haven't come up with anything yet. But if we do, we do. So take care of yourselves. If you want to see the replay, you can watch it on Facebook. Like I said, all lives are public. Or you can go to YouTube, where I upload it right after to the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. Then I send it off to Twitter. So have a great, great day. Take care of yourselves. Self-Care Wednesday. Hump Day! Last one for baby sibling till next Wednesday. It's hump day, hump day, hump day, hump day. So go out there and enjoy yourselves. Live your life and live it for you. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.